What if I told you that each brushstroke in a Renaissance masterpiece tells a deeper story, one filled with mysteries, secrets, and a glimpse into the souls of the artists who created them? Imagine standing in front of a painting like Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, feeling the weight of history and emotion radiating from the canvas. But what if I also revealed that there are hidden elements, symbols, and messages layered into these magnificent works of art, waiting for the eagle-eyed observer to unveil? These masterpieces have been admired for centuries, yet many of their deepest secrets remain cloaked in shadows. Stay with me, and together, we will peel back the layers of mystique surrounding these incredible works, uncovering astonishing truths you never knew existed. The Renaissance was a time of monumental change and creativity, a flourishing of art, science, and thought that still resonates today. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael pushed the boundaries of what was possible, not just in technique but in the very essence of what art could convey. But beneath their famous surface, these artists were also keen intellectuals, deeply engaged in philosophical inquiries and hidden symbolism. So why do their masterworks resonate so profoundly with us today? What messages are embedded within their vibrant colors and intricate compositions? Let's delve into the world of Leonardo da Vinci, a man not just of science, but of secrets. His painting The Last Supper is often viewed as a display of divine reverence and historical significance, yet beneath the surface lie intriguing layers. Did you know that the arrangement of the figures reflects a world in turmoil? Each apostle's posture gives insight into their personalities and feelings in the moment Christ announces his betrayal. Was Judas truly the villain, or is there more to his story? The placement of his figure, shrouded in shadow, clutching a bag of silver, forces us to question the nature of betrayal itself. You might be wondering, what else could be hidden within this influential painting? Consider the mathematics of the piece. Da Vinci employed geometric precision to create perspective that draws the viewer's eye to Christ, symbolizing his central role in Christianity. But here's something you didn't expect. Da Vinci's use of perspective isn't merely a technical exercise, it's a clever nod to the philosophical ideas at play in the Renaissance. The discipline of perspective itself emerged from a redefined understanding of reality, and with every angle, Da Vinci was inviting us to see beyond the painting into a broader theological debate. Moving on to Michelangelo, we gaze upon the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, a canvas sprawling with narrative, emotion, and divine connection. Here, Michelangelo painted biblical scenes that ignite the imagination, from the iconic creation of Adam to the haunting Last Judgment. But have you ever noticed the peculiar choices Michelangelo used to create his characters? Each figure is not just a biblical representation, they are embodiments of humanity's struggle, its divine potential, and its frailties. What comes next will leave you speechless. Michelangelo's figures are painted with muscular precision, each exaggerated and idealized, almost as if the painter wanted to express an ultimate truth about human existence. But if you look even closer, you can see that some faces and bodies reveal Michelangelo's understanding of human anatomy. He was also a sculptor, after all, resulting in an anatomical realism that conveys raw emotion. The expression on Adam's face in creation sparks a metaphysical dialogue about the moment of life itself. Is it divine breath or human awakening? Here, perspective, anatomy, and divine narrative intertwine to create a breathtaking experience, inviting viewers to grapple with their existence and connection to the divine. You might be surprised to learn that even the illustrious Raphael was steeped in layers of symbolism that often go unnoticed. His work The School of Athens is a perfect example of a piece that appears to be a celebration of great thinkers, yet it embodies so much more. The composition is a sophisticated dialogue of intellectual thought that helped define the Renaissance. Featuring the likes of Plato and Aristotle at the center, do you see how their gestures symbolize the unity and strife between different schools of thought? Beneath the idealized figures lies a colorful background filled with architectural marvels reflecting ancient Greece, a reminder of the enduring impact of classical ideals on Renaissance thought. As you stand before the painting, each character not only represents a philosopher but becomes a representation of the very ideals that drove the Renaissance forward: inquiry, reason, and debate. So, ask yourself, when was the last time you considered how these ancient figures influenced modern philosophy and democracy? But the intrigue doesn't stop there. Let's shift our attention to all those lesser-known artists who played influential roles in this artistic revolution. Take, for instance, the enigmatic life of Artemisia Gentileschi. Living in a male-dominated art world, her oeuvre contains resilience, vengeance, and empowerment manifesting boldly on canvas. Her Judith slaying Holofernes is a masterful portrayal of strength and fury that starkly contrasts the passive depictions often given to women in art. What's astonishing is that Gentileschi's life experiences, marked by personal trauma and societal injustice, inform her narratives. In every brushstroke, you can feel her emotional weight, evoking empathy and a striking sense of watches. Did you know that her work has only recently started seeing the recognition it truly deserves? The tides of history often obscured her legacy, but now we are re-examining these pieces through modern lenses. Can you feel the layers of anger and resilience she imbues in her characters? The hidden secrets within her masterpieces come alive with stories of vulnerability and power, inviting discussions about gender and artistry that are still relevant today. As we explore these incredible artists and their iconic works, a common thread starts to emerge. It's not just about the beauty or technical prowess, but rather the stories, philosophies, and human experiences woven throughout their creations. It raises the question, how many more stories lie hidden, waiting for someone to peel back the layers and reveal them? Now let's talk about the emotional undertones embedded in The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Beyond its aesthetic charms lies a complex tapestry of mythological and philosophical implications. The goddess Venus, depicted emerging from the sea on a shell, borne by zephyrs, embodies not only love and beauty but also ideals associated with rebirth and the divine feminine. The use of shell symbolism hints at both vulnerability and strength. Did you know that when Botticelli painted this masterpiece, it was during a time when society was grappling with shifts in religious thought, where the ancient ideals began to clash with burgeoning Renaissance humanism? The underlying question here is profound. Is Botticelli ushering in a new age of ideals through his representation of Venus? Or is he subtly critiquing society's obsession with beauty and love? Both interpretations manifest beautifully in the painting, creating a mesmerizing dialogue that continues to intrigue scholars and art lovers alike. You'll find it fascinating how the act of representing beauty can evoke discussions around politics, philosophy, and gender norms of the time. Let me take you back for a moment. Did you know that many Renaissance artists were part of larger guilds and societies that established codes for art and sharing of knowledge? These networks often operated as secret societies, protecting their artistic methodologies and metaphorical language. When thinking of genius figures such as Leonardo, Michelangelo, or even Raphael, it's easy to see them as solitary masters. However, they thrived amidst a community of thinkers and creators, each vying to elevate not only their art but also the very culture from which they emerged. Is this surprising to you? The notion that these icons were influenced by their contemporaries and engaged in artistic dialogues throughout their careers adds another layer to our understanding of these masterpieces. It's a thrilling revelation that invites us to consider the collaborative aspect of creativity, reminding us that artistry is rarely a lone endeavor. As we journey through this enchanting world of Renaissance art, we must also remember the historical context surrounding these works. Surges of humanism, shifts in religious belief, and discoveries in science all played roles in shaping the perspectives artists embraced. The evolution of these masterpieces holds a mirror to societal changes, each piece, much like a time capsule, that carries messages from the past into our present. And as we approach the halfway point of our exploration, one thing becomes clear: the secrets behind Renaissance masterpieces are not simply about technique or aesthetics, but about the power of storytelling. These artworks continue to provoke thought and ignite curiosity because they speak to universal human experiences, passion, betrayal, beauty, and struggle across time and space. So stay tuned, for the journey is far from over. In the second part, we will delve deeper into the myths, legends, and unexpected elements hidden within these mesmerizing compositions. You'll also discover some captivating, lesser-known works that deserve the limelight and explore how modern interpretations are recontextualizing these masterpieces for contemporary audiences. Prepare to be amazed as we unlock even more secrets waiting to be uncovered within this fascinating narrative of art, history, and humanity's shared quest for meaning. As we transition into the second half of our exploration, let's dive deeper into the nuanced myths and legends that breathe life into Renaissance masterpieces. It is within these stories that the true essence of the artworks often resides, layered meanings waiting patiently for us to discover them. Take, for instance, Sandro Botticelli's other famous work, Primavera. This painting is not just an allegorical representation of spring, it encapsulates the entire ethos of the Renaissance. Within its lush greenery stand figures that represent various aspects of life, love, and nature. Think of Venus at the center, exuding grace, surrounded by the three graces and in dialogue with Mercury. Each character is steeped in mythology, with roots in ancient texts, reminding us of the interconnectivity of classical wisdom and the rebirth of learning during the Renaissance. What's captivating here is that Botticelli's Primavera invites viewers to participate in a dialogue about the nature of love and desire. It's filled with intricate details, the fluttering of the wings of the zephyrs, representatives of the winds that herald in spring and transformation. This brings us to a poignant consideration: how does our understanding of these allegories shape our interpretation of beauty and desire in contemporary life? Through the lens of Botticelli, we recognize that the quest for love, much like art, is eternally vibrant, filled with complexities and traditions that transcend time. Now let's shift our focus to the enigmatic artist Paolo Veronese, whose work The Wedding at Cana famously depicts the biblical story of Jesus turning water into wine. But beyond its celebratory appearance lies a canvas teeming with hidden details. Did you know that the elaborate banquet scene was not just a religious event, but a commentary on the opulence and extravagance of 16th-century Venetian society? Veronese's meticulous attention to each figure's attire and the architectural elements casts a spotlight on the social hierarchies of his time. What's most fascinating about Veronese's painting is his clever juxtaposition of the sacred and the secular. As you examine the figures in the foreground attending to their gluttonous feast, you can't help but notice the expression of surprise on the faces of servants, who realize that a miracle is occurring. This duality reflects not only on the culture of abundance but also on the spiritual transformations resulting from such miraculous acts. Could it be that Veronese is prompting us to question our values in pursuit of pleasure? The charming realism of the painting, achieved through a vivid color palette, brings ancient events into relatable contemporary focus, inviting us as modern viewers to ponder our attitudes toward materialism and spirituality. And then there's Caravaggio, forever a transformative figure in the evolution of art. Renowned for his dramatic use of chiaroscuro, Caravaggio's storytelling ignites a vibrant emotional intensity that sets him apart. In works like The Calling of St. Matthew, we confront not only a biblical narrative but a rich tableau of moral introspection. The activation of light serves a dual function, not merely illuminating key figures but also emphasizing the spiritual awakening experienced by St. Matthew. His gesture of reaching for the coin, momentarily captivated by the divine light, is an invitation for you, the viewer, to consider the transformative nature of faith. Caravaggio articulates a psychological complexity rooted in human experience, seen triumphantly in the blend of the sacred and the mundane. One might question, how does the manipulation of light guide our understanding of right and wrong? Caravaggio forces us to confront our own moral choices while connecting us with the turbulence of his characters' experiences. And let's not overlook Artemisia Gentileschi's daring retelling of biblical stories through a feminist lens. In her Esther before Ahasuerus, she produces a riveting exploration of a woman wielding influence in a patriarchal society. The raw emotion in Esther's expression, the urgency to save her people, echoes contemporary struggles for agency and representation among women. She places Esther as a heroine, rather than a victim, asserting the strength inherent in womanhood. There's a revolutionary spirit in Gentileschi's portrayal, challenging the traditional narratives that minimize women's roles. As you gaze into the determined eyes of Esther, you are greeted not just by a historical figure, but by a voice that calls for recognition and equality. How fascinating it is that through Gentileschi's work, we can juxtapose our notions of feminism today with those of the past, providing fresh perspectives on the timeless battle for women's rights. As we venture further into the realm of hidden symbols, let's revisit Leonardo da Vinci, particularly his Mona Lisa. This enigmatic portrait is celebrated for its beauty, but beneath the surface lies a whirlwind of speculation and intrigue. The use of sfumato, a technique creating soft transitions between colors, gives her an almost ethereal quality, inviting viewers to question her thoughts and feelings. Is her smile one of contentment or secrecy? What's astounding is that Da Vinci ingeniously hid codes within her enigmatic expression. Some suggest that her smile reflects an Aristotelian idea of equilibrium, the balance between emotion and reason. When we approach her with curiosity, we find ourselves reflecting our own emotions and experiences. In this exchange lies a powerful inquiry: what does it mean to truly know someone? Da Vinci challenges us to consider the nature of perception itself, forever evoking conversations about identity and self-awareness. Transitioning to the practice of appropriation in Renaissance art, it is fitting to discuss the revival of classical motifs. Giulio Romano, a student of Raphael, revitalizes the dynamic figures of antiquity in his work, The Fall of the Giants. This painting is a powerful commentary on ambition and hubris. Giants, so full of strength, ultimately face their own downfall, a narrative echoing Greek tragedy. Romano's sophisticated use of perspective imbues the scene with a sense of impending catastrophe. You can almost hear the cries of hopelessness, a reminder of the dangers nestled within unchecked ambition. This reflection provides a lens through which we can interpret modern dilemmas. What do we sacrifice in our striving for greatness? The Renaissance spirit of innovation also warned against overreaching, urging contemporary audiences to maintain humility and a respect for limitations. As we delve into lesser-known artists from this period, we stumble upon Sofonisba Anguissa, a pioneering woman in portraiture. Consider her self-portrait, a bold assertion of presence in an era dominated by male artists. In works like The Chess Game, she captures intimacy and intellect among her subjects, eliciting individual personalities and emotions. Did you know her monochrome backgrounds draw attention to the emotional dynamics within her compositions? Her approach to portraiture evolved the genre, emphasizing individuality and psychological depth. In Anguissa's work, we recognize how art can become a platform for women's voices to rise. She subtly critiques the limitations imposed on women of her time, presenting them as complex characters engaged in intellectual pursuits. What's remarkable is how her legacy continues to inform discussions around gender in the art world. Anguissa and her contemporaries paved the way for future generations of female artists, reminding us that the struggle for representation is ongoing. As we reach the conclusion of our journey, a constellation of stories, expressions, and ideologies remains. The Renaissance was not merely an artistic movement, it encapsulated a transformative epoch that reshaped human thought and creativity. Each masterpiece we've explored serves as a dialogue, bridging the gaps across time and encouraging us to reflect on our own humanity. The stories hidden in these works of art reflect a complex understanding of society, philosophy, and emotion, allowing us to peel back layers from distant eras to find threads connecting all of us, then and now. As we uncover the secrets that enrich these masterpieces, we find ourselves asking timeless questions about identity, morality, beauty, and knowledge. It is in the exploration of the human experience, boundless in its complexity, that we encounter our own reflections. The hidden layers of Renaissance art compel us to dig deeper, to seek meaning, and to forge connections with the past. By unveiling these artworks, we honor the echoes of those who walked before us and create space for new dialogues that resonate in our contemporary lives. So, the invitation stands, to seek the stories that art tells, to continue unearthing the narratives that have shaped cultures throughout history. Rather than simply observing, let us engage actively with these masterpieces, allowing them to inspire our pursuits of knowledge, empathy, and social transformation. The Renaissance was but a beginning of an ongoing conversation, one that enriches both our understanding of the past and our vision for the future.